Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing this amazing morning? As you can see, I'm on this whole bow tie kick. I had bows on yesterday. I got bows on today. I'm gonna wear a bow tomorrow. I am so on the bow kick. So, how's everybody doing this morning? I had to change the time because I was first of all, I took a class early this morning. And so I was like, all right, let me get everything together. I was putting up my content. I was doing a lot of things trying to get everything done. And I was like, I'm not going to make it on at 9 o'clock. So here we are. So how's everybody doing this amazing morning? Let me see who's in the room. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Let me see who's in the room. Oh, you guys were here super duper early. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Betty Rose. Good morning, Naomi. Everybody is blessed. Yes, yes, yes. Uh-oh, Betty Rose is feeling under the weather. Hope you're feeling better. Hope you're feeling better. I know that you got a lot going on and you can't be sick right now. I already know. So I'm praying for your wellness. I'm praying for your speedy recovery. I'm praying for your healing, whatever it is, whatever it is. Good morning, good morning, good morning, cousin. Cousin, don't I tell y'all cousin hold me down? She holds me all the way down, all the way down. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Trina. Good morning, Miss Seltra. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Miss Pascal. Good morning, Denicia. Good morning. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Michi. You early today, girl. Yes, yes, yes. Um, Good morning, Jasmine. Yes, Jasmine is under the weather. Today, too, we are praying for her recovery, her speedy recovery as well. We love you, Jasmine, and we miss you, girl. And we're so glad you're here with us this morning. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And feel better. I know you are not feeling well, but feel better. Let's see, let's see, let's see. The early bird gets the worm, baby. Okay. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Good morning, the Millie Little Things. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Shanika. Good morning, everybody. So let me tell y'all. So this morning I was listening to Dr. Miles Monroe. I absolutely love Dr. Miles Monroe. If you guys don't know, I will actually I will put the link in the Facebook group so that you could listen to the sermon that I was listening to today. Today was not today because he passed away, right? Yeah. And it's about seasons. It was about seasons. And so yes, you guys, it was very insightful. It was something that I was like, oh, I should have thought about this. You know, we still have the last five to go over from Jim Rohn. But I was like, you know what? I really want to touch on this because everything is all about seasons, right? All about seasons. And so everything that we are going through is not here to stay, right? He says the only thing that's going to be the only thing that's permanent is God's promise, that everything else is temporary. Everything that comes will pass. Every storm that's going to come, that is not going to take you out. That storm has to pass, because if God promised that everything is temporary and everything is going to pass, then this too shall pass, right? And so I was like, this was the perfect message for this morning. So I want you guys to know, I don't know what season you're in right now. I don't know if this is your growth season, your nurturing season, your learning season, your struggle season, your overcoming season. I don't know what season you are right now. I don't know what season you are in your spiritual journey. I don't know what season you are in your entrepreneurial journey. I don't know in your personal journey, but you know what that is. And whatever it is that you feel like, I just can't make it through, or this just may not be for me, or this just may not be my time, it's seasonal. It will pass. It will pass. He makes the point to say, oh, you know what? I pulled up the scripture so you guys can go to Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1 and 2. So I'm going to pull it up on my screen so that you guys have faith in knowing that everything is going to come to pass, right? And I don't know how I could just do it right to the scripture because it's showing the entire screen. But let me know if in the chat you guys could see my screen. Or I could just read it to you guys. Do you want to see it or you want me to read it? Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Yes, and then Cousin, I need you to put a prayer for everybody in here who who's getting sick right now, because my cousin just sent me a message and she had left work early because she wasn't feeling well. And I'm just getting messages from everybody. Everybody right now is getting, the S word. And so we need a prayer out for everybody out there. Right? All right. So if you have your Bible, no, I'm just joking. I'm not joking, but I'm serious. But Ecclesiastes 3, a time for everything. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. That's everything, not just some things. Everything has a season. If somebody's winning right now, they're going to have a season when they don't feel like they're winning so much. Somebody's happy right now, they're going to have a season when they're not so happy. If you are up right now, there's going to be a season when you're down. There's always going to be times when you are going to experience difference, right? I don't want to say that it's going to be something drastic, because it may not be drastic, right? But you're going to experience some change. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to make you move. It's going to make you rely on God. It's going to make you sit and think and work, right? Things happen in a season. It has to rest, right? When I'm starting to put seeds in my garden, it's my dirt rested all winter, and then it's time for me to plant, right? And so now it's ready to go. So that's the same thing that's going to happen to us, right? When we're in those seasons, this is a time for reflection. This is a time for us to look within. This is a time for us to get better in our prayer life. This is a time for us to depend on God, to rely on God, to learn things, to grow. That's what this is all about, right? There's always going to be a season of rest, and rest is going to help you reflect and get in the direction you need to get into, so you can receive God's blessings. Yes, yes, and yes, you guys. Put a yes, yes, and yes in the chat. If you feel what I'm saying, let me know. Good morning, Yazzie Faye. Good morning. All right, so Ecclesiastes says, there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace, right? So when he was talking about that this morning, I said, you know what? I need to talk on that this morning, because we are all in different seasons, and for whatever reason, we are going to be experiencing something, and you don't want to make a permanent decision through a temporary situation, right? So we need to know, when we are going through these things are not here to stay. These things are meant to go away, right? Good morning, Chantel. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Z. Everything is not going to, there's nothing that's going to stay. People say everything is built to last. There's nothing that's going to be built to last. There's always going to be seasons. There's going to be seasons of phenomenal success. There's going to be seasons of mediocre success. There may be seasons when you're not as successful as you've been those 2 previous seasons. There's going to be seasons of the things that you're going to go through, and you do not want to make permanent decisions based on that. And I want to go on and say also that motivation is seasonal. Right? Motivation is not something that is going to stay forever, right? You're going to have to find ways to be motivated. There's going to be times when you're so excited about an idea, a project, or a sale, and there's going to be times when you're not as excited, right? There's going to be times when you want to do these things, and there's going to be times when you don't want to do things. And so you have to make sure that that I have to make sure my end goal is in mind. I need to make sure that I stay the course, I stay the path, because I know in due time, this too shall pass. Everybody put in the chat, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And I also want to make reference to, he said, when we buy clothes, right? When you buy your seasonal clothes, when is the best time to purchase your seasonal clothes? Not in the season, that's for sure. When is the best time to purchase your seasonal clothes? Yes, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Everybody put it in there. No matter what you're going through, this too shall pass. When's the best time to buy your seasonal clothes? Because if you're buying your seasonal clothes in the season, you're paying high prices, right? Your prices are going to be extremely high because you're buying it within that season. But if you're purchasing it towards the end of the season, right? And not even the season, it's the season beforehand, right? It's not even in the season, because as you see, when Christmas is coming through, you see everything is getting ready for all of the next holidays and the next season. And when Christmas time actually hits, like the month, you don't see stuff anymore. If you didn't get your Christmas stuff in November, or whenever they put it out, you're gonna miss it in December, because in December they're already talking about Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, summer's in the stores. You can get your bathing suits now. Like, they're already into the season, right? They prepare for the season, right? You're not doing it in the season. You getting the best deals at the end of the season, or you getting it before the season, right? But it's going on clearance by the time you need it. By the time you need it, it's going. How many times have you gone on vacation and it's summertime and you going somewhere and you can't find a bathing suit in the store and it's summertime? You don't find these things because they're already on to the next season, right? And so you have to know things are not going to stay just because, just because you got your summer clothes. He was saying, just because you got your summer clothes don't mean that you're going to throw them away, right? So just because you're not motivated, that don't mean that you're not going to be motivated for the rest of your life. Just because you ain't winning right now don't mean that you ain't going to be winning later. Just because you're not successful right now don't mean that you're not going to be successful later. Just because you don't have things together right now don't mean that you're not going to have it, together later. This is going to pass. You have to prepare. You're going to store it for later, right? Because you know that it's coming again and you're going to need it. So I just want to let you guys know, just keep in mind that things are not going to stay. They are going to pass. They are going to pass. So with the motivation, just keep in mind that motivation is not going to stay. And just because you don't have it, because remember, this is motivation week, right? This is motivation week for all of us. If you are not feeling motivated in the minute, maybe there's something that you need to reflect on. Maybe there's something, maybe you need to have a conversation with God. Maybe you need to have a conversation with yourself. Maybe you need to start changing things around. Maybe you need to start, moving and shaking the table or something, because this right now you're not motivated, but something is going to happen. It has to happen because it can't stay, right? So just because you don't feel it right now, just because you're not excited right now, don't mean that it's not happening. Right? And just because it's not happening right now don't mean that you don't deserve it, because you do. So just keep in mind that when you're motivated and you're excited about that thing, that you do it, and when you lack motivation, that you still do it. Because if you have the discipline, you're going to be able to push yourself through. You're going to push yourself towards the finish line, because you have to push yourself towards the finish line, because you got it in your sights that this is the end goal, right? So when I feel like it and when I don't feel like it, I'm going to do it, because my end result is going to be worth it, period. Right? Everybody says it's going to be worth it. It is going to be worth it in the end. That's it. That's it. Everything has a season. Every single thing has a season. There's a time for you to be talking and there's a time for you to be quiet. And you already know, and I know everybody lived enough life in here, that when you're going through something, God needs you to depend on him. I know that when you're struggling, you need to go within. You need to do some internal work, because that's when you're going to see the clarity. That's when you're going to see, oh, this is what I need to do. That's when you'll be able to create your plan of action in the quiet, right? When everything is hitting you at every different angle, oh, it's too busy, everything is too much. You don't have time to listen to God because you're so busy. You don't have time to make a plan because you're so busy doing. You don't have time to create things because you're so busy doing. And it's going to have to be a time when you have to sit reflect so that you can take a plan of action. Sit, reflect so you could do what you need to do on the inside. Sit and reflect to get yourself together with God. Sit and reflect so you could get together with whatever you need in your business. Because everybody, and you can see that everybody's on go, 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 but there's no plan. Right? And so, and everybody is consuming, 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 but there's no execution. And so you need to make sure that you are taking the time out that you need so that you can reflect, so that you can create this plan, so that you can maneuver quickly and you can maneuver effectively in the plan that you set out for yourself. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. And it's not easy, especially, I say this all the time because I know what it's like to have a launch and you're only focused on the products and getting the products out. I know what it's like for you to just be focused on the website and just focusing on getting your website out without worrying about how you're going to nurture your customers. How are you bringing customers to you? Where are these customers coming from? Where are you showing up? You're not even showing up on social media. So where are you showing up? And how are these people supposed to find you if you're not doing the work? You got this amazing thing. You got this amazing website. You spent the money. You did the things. And now who is buying? Maybe you have some friends that's buying. Maybe you got some, your family members that may be buying. But who is going to be there to purchase from you? And then not only purchase from you, because this is a business, right? They need to continue to purchase from you. They don't need to just do this the one time. You need them to continue to purchase from you. You need them to tell their friends about it so their friends could talk about it and come. And so they could tell their friends and they could just keep going and going and going. But this is something that's constant, right? But you don't have that plan because you're so busy and wrapped up in the thing. And sometimes you got to take a second and step back so you can actually formulate a plan that you are going to use so that you can take action. Yes, everybody feels me. Put yes, yes, and yes in the chat. Let me know. Let me know if you're feeling what I'm putting down today. Let me know in the chat how you feeling about it. How are you feeling about it? Everything has a season. Everything has a season. It's about to be time for me to plant my seeds in my garden, right? It wasn't time for me to plant my seeds in the winter, but it's time because the seasons changed and it's time for me to start planting my seeds. It is time for me to start preparing my garden to prepare it to grow, right? Not nurturing my soil still nurturing, but it's not resting. It's not in the season of coldness and darkness and not bad conditions, but winter conditions, and you can't grow anything in that season, right? So there's absolutely nothing that's going to grow in the winter seasons here outside. And so now, since spring is about to pop, we are about to plant seeds so that they can grow. Right? But now is the time to plant the seeds. And then after I plant the seeds and nurture the seeds and have the seeds start growing and emerging out of the dirt, I will soon be able to bear fruit. But I won't be able to bear fruit when it's time to plant the seeds. There's a process. Right? That's all about preparation. That's what we were talking about yesterday with Jim Rohn. Everything is about preparation, right? So yes, I planted my seeds, but I'm not going to see fruit tomorrow, right? It takes time, right? And you guys don't give yourself enough grace when you don't learn something quick enough. You guys don't give yourself grace if you tried something and didn't work. You're just ready to give up, right? How many of us try something and we like, oh, this didn't work. Oh, so I guess it's not for me. And then you don't even attempt to try anymore. How many of you guys do that? Put a 1 in the chat if that's you. Put a 2 if you don't. Put a 1 if it's you, or 2 if you don't. Good morning, Danny. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You were speaking to me right on time. I had to take a step back this week to work on things that I've been neglecting with my business. Absolutely. Absolutely. And and the reason why I know this is because I've done this. And I still will continue to do this, because you get busy and you lose sight of what has to happen, because you say that you're going to come back to it, and as long as you come back to it, you never come back to it, right? It's still always going to be on the back burner. Every time you just move it further and further and further and further away until it's that time. It's like, hey, you need to do this. Hey, You need to work on this. Hey, this has to get done. And then that's when you remember it, right? Because these things got to get done, right? So we have to take that time to plan so that we can activate the plan and execute quickly, execute effectively, right? Because if we do not do that, if we do not take the time to sit back and think about how we're going to do something or what we need to do in order for that thing to happen, we're just going to be spinning our wheels, right? We're just going to be spinning our wheels. Sometimes you have to slow down in order to speed up. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to. Because again, everything is going to happen in seasons. This may be your slow season, right? That doesn't mean that business is not going to come in for you, right? If this is a slow season for you, then now is the time for you to think about some strategies that are going to work. It's time for you to start talking to some old customers that you had. Maybe it's time for you to start getting your email list together. Maybe it's time for you to start seeing how you're going to put some ads together. Maybe it's about time that you start doing events. Maybe it's time that you start doing different things and making a plan in order for you to get back on track so you could get your numbers back to where they used to be. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. It is time. If you're in the silent season right now, now is the time for you to get reflection. Now is the time for you to get clarity. Now is the time for you to really set your goals. Now is the time for you to set your goals and set smaller goals so that you can hit the bigger goals. Now is the time for you to get yourself ready. Now is the time to read the books. Now is the time to take the classes. Now is the time to take those seminars. Now is the time to do those things. Now is the time for you to get in the rooms with the people that are going to be able to help you. Now is the time, especially if this is in your silent season, right? If this is in your growing season, you know that things have to happen, then you need to get the things that you need to grow. I can't just have my seeds grow in the garden without me doing the necessary things. I'm going to have to, yes, the rain is going to help, but I am going to have to go out there and water them because they need a certain amount of water. I need to make sure that I put them in the right place, because if I don't and they don't get enough sunlight, then that is going to stop them from growing, right? And so I need to do the things that I need to do. I need to put up my fence so that the deer don't go in and devour my garden like they did last year, right? I need to do what I need to do to prepare my garden for abundance, prepare my garden for abundant harvest, right? That's the things that I've got to do. And so in this season, I know that I gotta prepare. In this season, good morning, Nene. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you, Nene. In this season, we have to prepare. In this season, we have to make sure that we know we are going to get to where we're going, but it's going to take a plan. We have to take time to plan. You can't launch without a plan. You can't create without a plan. You don't cook without a plan. You don't get dressed without a plan. Even though you think you're throwing your outfit together, you planned to put the outfit together, right? I need to put on clothes, right? So I got to plan to put on some clothes. I don't know what I'm going to put on, but I got to put on something. Still preparation. I still got to put these clothes on my body. I ain't walking outside naked. I got to put clothes on, right? I choose to put my sneakers on because I need to prepare to walk outside because I'm not walking outside barefoot. The ground is cold, right? So everything requires preparation. Everybody got it? Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Yesterday we were speaking about Jim Rohn, and he had the 10 principles, right? And so the first one was the power of purpose. So you got to know what your purpose is and reason why you're doing something. What is the motivation, right? You also need to have self-confidence, because self-confidence is going to allow you to be confident to take the next step, to do the next thing, to try the next thing, right? That self-confidence is going to be that's going to help you push, right? Enthusiasm. You need to be excited about what you're doing. If you're not excited about what you're doing, then nobody else is going to be excited about it. And you need to keep that enthusiasm, and not so much on the outside so everybody else can see it, but you need to feel it on the inside so you can give yourself a pat on the back like, hey, I'm about to do this thing. I'm excited. This thing is about to happen. I can't believe this is about to happen. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is about to happen. This is about to happen for me. It ain't about everybody else seeing it, but it's about what you feel on the inside, right? It's not about everybody else getting it, but it's how you feel on the inside. It's how you are feeling and thinking. Yes, it's going to feel good when other people give you the accolades and the awards and all the other things, but it's going to be so much better on the inside when you could give yourself kudos for a job well done, right? Everything that happened, how many celebrities and they win all these awards and they feeling, they get all these things, and then when they get to the stage and when they have these awards, they still empty inside. They still they yeah, I got the award, but there's something that is not there. They're not happy with themselves, right? Yeah, maybe they was enthusiastic about the process when they were trying to get signed, but after they got signed and they seen all of the evils and all the other stuff that comes with being an entertainer, or the grueling schedules and things like that. Once they seen that, then that enthusiasm wore off, right? And so they got to be enthusiastic on the outside, right, for everybody else because they're excited, but they lose the enthusiasm on the inside, and so they're kind of like just an empty shell at this point, right? And so you have to be able to say, I'm enthusiastic about my success, I'm enthusiastic about the possibilities, I'm enthusiastic about everything that is about to happen for me, and I'm going to give myself grace when if something don't happen just the way I want it to happen, but I'm still going to be excited about the possibilities because I know it's on its way, right? And so you have to keep the enthusiasm on the inside more so than on the outside, right? Because you're not doing it for show. That's basically, I'm enthusiastic about something just because it's for show, but on the inside I'm feeling like I'm empty, I'm depleted, I'm just not there, right? So you want to make sure that you feel that enthusiasm more so on the inside as opposed to on the outside. The next one is expertise, right? Whatever you don't know right now, you can learn, right? So I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. This person is somewhere else, and this happened and this happened. You could get to wherever you want to be as long as you are willing to put the work in, as long as you're willing to read the books, as long as you're willing to take the classes, as long as you're willing to study these businesses that you admire and see what they're doing so that you can do these things. I shared a tip with you guys. Oh no, I have a video coming up and I'm going to show you how to find out how to do the email campaigns like the big brands are doing. I had stumbled on somebody's video and they were saying, they did a little tutorial and they showed you how to do it. And I was like, oh, let me try it. And I tried it and it worked. And I said, you know what? I'm going to bring that back to the tribe because the tribe will be able to, a lot of you guys are struggling with how to put your emails together. A lot of you guys are struggling with what it should look like. Let me show you what the big brands are doing. Let me show you how to create that and do it on your, where you are. And so you could learn anything. You could pick up a book. You don't have to be in school to learn things, right? How many college dropouts, how many high school dropouts are now millionaires and billionaires, right? So you can learn. Even if you learning with the school of hard knocks, if you're learning with life, a lot of people learned how to, like Wall Street Trapper. A lot of people learned based on their life, their lifestyle. That's trapping in the streets. That's being in jail, right? Those are where people learned that, right? And then they fixed it. They honed their skills, and then they got themselves in rooms where people were going to help them learn even more. Right. And so if that's what you need to do, then that's what you need to do. But everything you can always learn, right? And always use what you have to be a part of your story. Right. That is part of your expertise, whatever it is. I'm looking at Jasmine's name right now. I've been a graphic designer for X amount of years. Right. Miss Lois, I've been a school teacher. I've been a science teacher for X amount of years. Miss Linda, I've been a hairdresser for X amount of years. That qualifies you to be an expert. That qualifies you to speak on the things that you are going to share with people. That lets people know that I could trust her because this person has X amount of years in the game, and this person actually knows what she's doing and what she's saying, and this is going to be able to help me, or this is going to be a product that I need, right? And so use what you have. Right? It don't have to be a whole brand new skill, but even if you do have a whole brand new skill, you make sure you show from the glow up to the grow up, right? You show all of that, or from the grow up to the glow up, right? You show all of that, and then people will be like, oh, you know what? I see it. I see it. I could see why this person is an expert in this. I could see why this person is well versed in this topic or this field. I could see why their products work because I've seen blah, 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 because this person comes from blah, 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 right? Establish that, right? So your expertise. 5 is being prepared, right? Preparation is going, we already just spoke about preparation, right? The importance of preparation. Everything you do, you have to prepare for, right? Every single thing you do, you have to prepare for. I was supposed to go live about it, but here came COVID, stepping on my plans. I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, you still got it. You still could do it. You still could do it as long as you can move. You still could do it, and you don't even have to show your face. And you could do a voiceover. And if you don't do a voiceover, have one of those AI things. Do your voicing. You know, you resting right now, and you should be. But if you want to start planning out that content, you can. You can. You can still go live when you're better, Jasmine. Feel better, boo. Yes, yes. And so yesterday, I had a word, right? And the word was atrophy. And I was like, you know what? I was thinking, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? I knew that I wanted to do the rest of the 5. And I was like, you know, when you're stuck and you don't feel, but I was like, you know what? Atrophy just came to me. And I was like, I think I'm going to use that word today because I think, girl, this voice is ugly right now. Use Jessie from TikTok. So atrophy was the word, right? And the definition is to gradually decline in effectiveness or vigor due to underuse or neglect. So that sounds like what it said in the Bible, right? God gives you blessings. If you don't use them, you lose them because he felt like you don't need it, right? You don't need it. So since you don't need it, let me remove it, right? So if you don't use something, you're going to lose it, right? So use every single thing that you have. You come with so many unique talents and gifts that you could share with the world. And a lot of the time we feel like we don't have enough to share. We feel that we don't know enough to share. But share with where you are. Say, I'm learning, but this is what I know. I'm taking a class, but I've learned this, right? Because what you have is going to be able to help somebody else. Your business is going to be able to help somebody else, right? You have not because you ask not. Come on, Yazzie Faye, right? So you have to be willing to say, I may not be there yet, but, right? I'm getting there. I don't have all the answers, but this is what I know to be true. I don't have every answer for everybody who has eczema. I don't have every answer for everybody who want to do certain things and makeup or wash their brushes. I don't have every answer. But what I can give you is what I do know. What I know is that this is going to work. What I know is that this is what worked on my son. What I know is that about this soap, I formulated this recipe for blah, 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 blah. But what I know is, right? I'm not saying I know everything, but I do know something. And the something that I know may be helpful to you, right? So everybody says, use what you have. Put it in the chat. Use what you have. Use what you have. Use what you have. I'm not there yet, but God, let's go. Let's get it. Let's go, right? Let's put it in the chat. Let's put it in the chat. So I had a great start, made a lot of money, mismanaged it. Now I'm paying for not saving. Yes. I compare myself to my friend. She did everything right with her business. I messed up big time. And now you have day one. Remember, I told you yesterday, a quote stuck out to me yesterday. Day one or one day, right? So not one day are you going to get your finances back in order. It's not going to be one day. It's going to be day one. Today is day one. I am going to get my business right because I made that mistake and I know how I mismanage my money. So now, day one, I am going to start managing my money properly. I'm going to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. I'm going to make sure that everything is taken care of now because this is day one. This is where I'm starting. Not one day in the future, I'm going to fix it. One day when the money starts coming in, I'm going to fix it. No, we're not going to start on a one day. We're going to start on a day one. Yes, yes, and yes. Use what you have. Yes, everybody. Use what you have. You survived all of your bad days. Yes, 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 and yes. So it's going to be day one or one day. Everybody, I want y'all to put, I keep saying put something in the chat, but put it in the chat. I need to make sure y'all listening. One day or day one, you decide what you're going to do. You decide which route you're going to take, right? Because one day may never even happen. One day may never even come. But day one, we are taking the steps that we need to take to get to the goal, right? Day one is the start of us getting to where we want to be. Day one is when everything starts. It starts on day one, not in one day. So you decide which one you want to pick. So everybody put which day you're picking in the chat. I see a lot of day ones. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. I always go into people's Instagram with thousands of followers to see when they started, and saw that many of them started with 5 to 10 likes on their videos and posts, but they get thousands now. Absolutely, you have to be consistent. It's about the consistency. Every single person, on everybody from everywhere, starts from zero. We all start from zero. Nobody starts and they just amazing in the beginning, right? We are all learning, we're all growing. You don't just start. You didn't come out the womb walking. You didn't come out the womb, laughing and talking and writing, and you didn't come out the womb doing that, right? Day one, day one, you came out. Now you gotta take day two, day three, month one. You know what I'm saying? Like it keeps going. It keeps going. And then there's milestones when you learning these things, but there is going to take a process. It's going to take a process, and you have to, babies don't give up when they trying to learn how to walk. They're going to keep on doing it until they learn, right? Your mother is not going to let you sit, or your teacher is not going to let you sit there and not learn how to read. They're going to do it until you learn how to do that thing, right? You don't just give up because, okay, I don't want to walk anymore. I'm just not going to do it. That doesn't happen, right? So we have to make sure, that's right, baby steps. But as long as you're taking steps forward, you're in motion. Period. Period. You don't want to do backward motions. We want to move forward, right? So number 6 from Jim Rohn. And I put, if you guys are wondering where I got these tips from, I got them from Jim Rohn. I put the video in the private Facebook group. So if you want to check it out and listen to him, you can. Number 6 is self-reliance. You have to look to yourself. Something don't go right, it's on you. Right? You can't say, but I had a team and this person didn't do my website right. Well, it was on you. If that person was taking too long to do your website, then maybe it was your time to find somebody else who could do it, or extend the time, or give that person a deadline, or do something. But overall, no matter what anybody else does, the responsibility will always fall on you. Always fall on you. Right? Hey, sisters, budget challenge all over again. I know, right? I need to do it because I started and stopped. I need to get back into doing the sister budget. Look to yourself. It's not about everybody else. It's about you. It's about your responsibility. Learn the skills to help others. But you have to know that it's on you. So I could teach you how to do something, right? But just because you didn't make a product the way I said to make the product, and you made a mistake along the way, I still have to be responsible for that product, even though I didn't physically make it. But it is my company. It is my business, right? Maybe I needed to do things differently. Maybe I needed to teach her differently. Maybe I needed to prep her differently. But ultimately, the responsibility is going to be on me. If I send a product out, nobody's going to think about that person that made my thing. Nobody's going to think about that person who jacked up my website. Nobody's going to think about whatever, right? They're thinking about me because my name is in the forefront. This is my business, and I am responsible for all decisions made. I am responsible for everything that happens, right? So everybody is going to look on you. So you have to own your responsibility. You cannot put things on other people. A lot of the times, a lot of you guys are saying, well, this person didn't do my thing. This person didn't do, I don't have this yet. I don't have my labels yet. I don't have my this yet. I don't have my that yet. But it's not on anybody else, because now that's a reflection of you. So how do you want people to see you? Right? What do you want? What do you want people to see? You want people to see that you're not professional? You want people to see that you don't have your stuff together? Like, what do you want people to see? Right? Because it's all ultimately going to be on you. So you have to learn to take responsibility for all of the actions in your business. Yes? Cicely Blends, can you send me a copy of the budget? I need to start that. Her budget is on Etsy. Or you can follow her on, I don't know if she put it on Sisterly Blends. Nene, did you put it on your personal page, or did you put it on your Nene page, or did you put it on Sisterly Blends? I don't think you put it on Sisterly Blends. I paid an agency to do my marketing. Now I have to learn how to do it myself. And I find it so challenging. I don't have a clue on marketing. And see, and that's another thing, because when you're smaller, we feel like sometimes you gotta send things out. But when you send it out, you gotta know that if something don't work out, I still could be able to do it. I still know at least a little bit of something that's going to get me moving until I could get this next thing. You know what I'm saying? Or until I could hire this person to do this thing. But I still need to know I still need to know the ins and outs so that I'll be able to do it if something should happen. What if this person should get sick? What if something should happen to this person and I'm not able to, you know what I'm saying? And they're not able to complete the job. Am I going to take the time to go find somebody else after this person already knew things? Or am I going to look within and figure out how I could figure this out? Right? How I could figure it out. So number seven. And see if I could get through all of them today. I would have if I didn't listen to Dr. Maru, but I had to. Number seven, if people don't see you as a leader, they won't trust you. If you don't seem like you know what you're doing, they're not going to trust you. How many times you see somebody and they, you know, that their makeup is jacked up? You're like, you ain't doing it. And they were like, oh, I'll do your makeup. Oh, no. That's okay. That's okay. I don't need you to do my makeup. I don't need you to do that. How many times somebody dressed and they're gonna tell you they dressed and they look like and you like and they're like, I'll dress you. Oh, let me put your outfit together. And you're like, nope, no, thank you. No, thank you. So if you don't look the part, people are not going to believe you. So you have to make sure you are seen as a leader. You are seen as an expert in your industry so that people can know, like, and trust you. Take control of your business and you show up as a leader, as an expert in your field. I always tell you guys you are an expert, so act the part, because if the reason why I say you're an expert, because you've been doing it, right? You know how it is to be a mom. You know how it is to be a student. You know what it's like to be a doctor, a nurse, or whatever, right? You know these things. So you have to not play the part because you are the part, but you are the expert, right? You are the expert. And when people see you as the expert, they're going to trust you, right? And so you have to learn, and I wrote down to know how to use your influence, because that's going to attract others. That is going to attract your tribe. Once you learn how to influence people, once you learn what you need to say to people or how you need to express what your business is and your company, they'll be able to see it and be like, oh, okay. She really knows what she's talking about. I really believe her. She been through some things. I see it, right? That's when they're going to put that wall down and they're going to start trusting you, right? I'm learning marketing strategy, and it's the most challenging thing. It is. It's very challenging, but you guys are able to do it. You just have to take some time, sit down, take a beat, and just get it together. Right? And then I also wrote down, you know me, I love me Deion Sanders. I love him. And you know his quote, when you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good. Right? And so you want to make sure that that's what's going on. Right? I'm coming on in the morning. I look good. I feel good. Right? I play good. I'm prepared. And you two better pay good, right? You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you are doing the things. The things have to happen, right? Number 8 is your character. Number 8 is your character. You want to be a person of high value, right? Be a person of high value, a person who demands respect, a person that people can rely on. So that means that if I say I'm a business owner and I'm showing up every day on my social media, I need to show up every day. If I say that I'm sending out emails to my customers 2 times a week, my character says I need to send out these emails 2 times a week because my customers are expecting it. And if my customers are expecting it and I don't do it, guess what I am? A liar. Right? There are times when I'm not even on point with the things that I have to do. That takes a little bit away from my character, right? My intention is there, but my intention ain't gonna get the job done. right? So we got to make sure that we are fulfilling the things that we are saying to our customers, right? So you need your principle, you need principle, character, integrity, right? You need character to see you through. You need to be honest, fair, and helpful, and willing to do the right thing. Those are the things that I wrote down about your character. Right. Those are the things that I wrote down for about your character, and it's about building a strong foundation. Right. And good morning, Patricia. Good morning, good morning, good morning. In order to build a strong foundation, you got to make sure that everything that you need is together. So your character got to be together. Your intentions got to be together. And you need to be disciplined to get your stuff together. You need to show up as the expert, so that people know that they can trust you. You need to show up when you say you're going to show up. You need to do sales when you say you're going to do sales. You need to pack your orders when you say you're going to pack your orders. You need to show up to the events when you say you're going to show up to the events. You need to show up for your business when you say you're going to show up, right? It's all about character. Yes, thank you, Michi. Everybody hit the thumbs up, please, and thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. All right. So number 9 is self-discipline. I'm heavy on the discipline. I'm heavy on the discipline. Discipline is on my vision board. Discipline was on my vision board last year. Discipline is going to be the thing when you feel like doing it, when you don't feel like doing it. That is definitely going to be the key to you getting to hitting your goal, right? It's going to be the key to you hitting your goals. Because if you're not disciplined, then anytime something throws you off track, that means you're just not going to do it. Right? That means that it's going to go by the wayside. If I know that I'm supposed to do something and maybe I got to go run to the hospital or I take somebody somewhere, I got to do something, but that thing still ain't going to get done. I need to be disciplined that when I get back from the hospital or when I get back from wherever, I'm going to come back and do the thing that I got to do. Not because I'm so tired, I've been at the hospital all day. No, I have the discipline to do it. Eric Thomas will tell you in a minute, he wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning. He wakes up earlier because you ain't going to outwork him, right? And so when he wakes up early, he is going to do his walk. He's going to do his cardio because that is his thing. He doesn't care if he went to bed at 12 o'clock midnight, right? He's still going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and he's still going to do his workout, right? And so that's the discipline that you need. You need the self-discipline. You already know. I already said that. Let me see. Basically, I said what I said. No, I'm just joking. Basically, I said what I wrote. I just like packaging orders so much. If you don't like packing orders, don't you work with your daughter, Tina? If you don't like packaging orders, let your daughter pack the orders. If you don't want to do that, then there is a service that you can use. I know Jasmine from Black Sunflower, she has a service that a fulfillment service where they fulfill the orders for her. So guess who's my gym buddy? Guess who my gym buddy is? Alejandro. Aww. He says he want to get buff. Tell him don't be getting so buff. He gonna stay. Well, he tall now. I was about to say he gonna stunt his growth, but he's tall. So he's tall. I find that discipline is a little easier for me when I establish good habits. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sounds like my 14-year-old. Right? So yes, and it's easier because I know Alejandro is going to keep you accountable. Let's go, let's do it. That's mom, we said we're going to do this. And Alejandro, I just love that one. I love both the kids, but I love both of them. They have really good ethics. Good ethic, good work ethic. Try flush packaging too if you do candles. And I think there's some other fulfillment centers too. So I wouldn't say, I'm not going to say that because it'll water down your brand. So we're not going to go there with that one. But just look into fulfillment centers if that's what you want to do. If you want to have somebody else. Me, on the other hand, I don't trust because I have too many different things. I don't have, a couple of products. I have a lot of products and I don't trust them to package it and do it right. So I have to do it myself. I know even though you teach them and it'll come, but I would like to see it. I gotta let go. So number 10 is good morning, Lakeisha. Lakeisha's got her website popping today. She got her website popping today. Today is the launch. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, everybody. Say happy birthday to Lakeisha Keisha. Happy birthday. Number 10. Number 10 is to have the power of extraordinary performance. Show up and show out. Point blank. That's basically what it means. Show up and show out. Show up and show out. If you want to be extraordinary, you must do extraordinary things, right? Kobe knew that he wanted to be extraordinary. There was nobody who was going to be better than him, so he did the work that nobody else wanted to do, right? Everybody else did what they needed to do to train, but Kobe did way more than he had to do than what he was doing, when he had to train. He showed up before everybody showed up to work out. He showed up when everybody left. He did the work. He did the thing so that he could be the best. Michael Jordan, same thing, right? He did everything he needed to do to be the best, right? Steph Curry, he's going to make sure that he's going to shoot a three-pointer from anywhere. He could do it with his eyes closed, right? Because they made sure that they were going to do the extraordinary things that's going to make to do the extraordinary work, right? They did the extraordinary things to do the extraordinary work. When everybody did what was required, they did beyond what was required. Did everybody hear what I just said? When they did what was required, right? Practice was required. Doing the games was required. All the traveling, all of that was required. But what they did was extraordinary because they did more than what was required. They showed up before everybody showed up. They did the work after everybody left. They did the work on the vacation. They did the work whenever they had the time to. They did the mental reps. I love that because I got that from Des Bryant when he was doing the mental reps on the sideline. So they did the work that was required in order for them to do extraordinary things. And extraordinary people don't just happen. They have to have an extraordinary work habit. Your extraordinary body ain't just going to happen. You got to have an extraordinary work habit. You got to say, I'm going to eat this way. I'm going to do the things. I'm going to work out this many times. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to detox. I'm going to this. That don't just happen, right? You got to create that. You have to create the extraordinary experience for yourself, right? Because it don't just happen, right? We want extraordinary things to happen with a mediocre work ethic. That's not going to get you that. Mediocre is never going to get you extraordinary, ever. It's never going to be a thing. They never walk hand in hand, ever. Ever. Right? So keep that in mind. Mediocre will never meet extraordinary. They're not even on the same road. They're not even on the same road, right? So you must do all of the things that you need to do. You have to show up. You want your business to be extraordinary, then you have to show up in extraordinary ways. You want your customers to be extraordinary, then you got to give them extraordinary service, right? You want them to talk about your products, then you're going to have to deliver and over deliver, right? You're going to serve and over serve. I'm going to give you way more than you paid for, right? Because I want you to know that I appreciate you, and I want you to know that my service is extraordinary, and you are an extraordinary customer, and my extraordinary customer deserves extraordinary service. Yes, yes, and yes. How many of you guys spell me? Put some ones in the chat. Put some ones in the chat. Put some ones in the chat. And so this is what I'm going to close out with today. Today is day 2 of Motivation Week. Day 2. It's day 2 because I missed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Day 2 of Motivation Week. And then the quote that I want to share with you guys is stop being average. Stop being average. You're not even good. Stop being average. You're not even good. You know why? Because you were meant to be great. You were born to be great. From Eric Thomas. Stop being average. You're not even good. You were born to be great. You were born to be extraordinary. You were born to excel. You were born to win. So stop just sitting on the sidelines playing yourself short. Stop sitting on the sidelines not shining. Stop sitting on the sidelines waiting. Oh, can it be my turn? No. Be great. Stand up and show up for yourself. Get up, play the game, show up and show out for yourself. Period. Period. Okay? Show up for yourself. Ain't nobody coming to save the day. We say this all the time, right? Ain't nobody coming to save the day. You have to be the person that is going to save the day for yourself. Mediocre is never going to get you extraordinary. Mediocre ain't going to get you anything. It's going to get you through, but it ain't going to help you to excel. It may help you along the way, but you ain't trying to do better. Oh, well, you just trying to just slide, right? You just trying to slide ain't going to get you what you need, right? We need to be extraordinary. We need to be extraordinary. You are not born to be average. You're not even good. You were born to be great. Y'all leave with that today and say that to yourself. Actually, I have some business mantras that I put on my stories, not my stories. I posted today. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please do follow me on Instagram. Say that to yourself a couple of times a day, because I know that negative self-talk could be a doozy. A doozy. I know that negative self-talk the voice can be so loud sometimes that it drowns you out. I know what it feels like. I know what that negative talk sounds like. I know what it feels like when that voice is starting to overpower yourself, right? And so you have to make sure that there's some things that you're saying, there's some things that you're doing in those moments that's going to pull you up and out of that, because it's easy to get, it's easy to succumb to the drowning sounds of your negative self-talk. It's easy, right? And so we need to start thinking of ways that we can get out of that, or we can pivot once we start hearing it, so that the voice doesn't get so loud. When it's a whisper, we want to start saying, I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm built for success. I can do this. I am great. I wasn't born to be average. I was born to be great. Like things like that you have to say to yourself in order to drown out that sound, right? In order to drown out that self-talk. So follow me on all social media, Bubble Babes University. That's BABEZ. Follow me on all social media. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, I don't know what you're doing. Subscribe, and then take this video and share with some friends. If you feel like this is something that they need to hear, share it and tell them, come on over here, because we popping over here. We popping. And then what else do I want to say? Make sure you join me Monday through Friday. We are here for Coffee with Nikki, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, sometimes 9:15. But we are here every morning, every weekday morning, for your daily cup of information and inspiration. I'm so glad that everybody spent their time with me today. I hope that you got some value from today. I hope that there's some gems in here that you heard today. I hope that there was a message that you needed to hear that will motivate you to get moving, to get started, to get growing, to be amazing, to be great. I hope that there's some things that you got from today that you can apply to your life. That is going to be worth your investment of your hour of sitting with me. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And make sure that you guys hit the thumbs up button. And if you're watching a replay, make sure you comment, and subscribe. All of that. Hit the notifications bell so you know that when we're going live. We will be going live tomorrow night with Miss Senia from Girlpreneur Essentials. So you guys make sure that you are here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Bring your notebooks, bring your pens, be ready to take some notes, because we are going to have Miss Senia. She breaks down the big brands and show you how you could implement this into your strategy. We have her coming in tomorrow night. So make sure that everybody is in the room. Also check your emails, because we have emails going out. We're letting you know, so get yourself in the room. And that's all I have for y'all today. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love and appreciate you guys as always. Why is this so easy? Why is it so easy to negatively self-talk but hard to do the opposite? It is. You have to train yourself. It's a mindset thing. You have to train yourself to, when you feel it, you got to start talking it, and then you got to learn to drown that out, right? If that means that you got to say an affirmation 100 times, 10 times in order for you to get it out your head so that you can forget that you're saying those things, then those are the things that you're going to have to do. Or just try to do an activity that's going to keep your mind off of it, and so that you're not thinking about it. It may come up again because it happens, but you're going to make sure that you're going to take care of it, because it can't stay. It can't stay. And we talk so negative to ourselves. And it's like, and I said, you know, I was saying this before, we talk so negative to ourselves. If somebody else spoke to us in the manner that we speak to ourselves, we'd probably be like ready to fight, right? Like, who you talking to? I know you ain't talking to me. We know that, right? But why do we allow ourselves to do that? We need to cut it out. We need to treat our negative self-talk like an enemy. Treat our negative self-talk like somebody who you are not going to allow to speak to you like that, right? Because who do you think you are to be speaking to me like that, right? So let's get it together, y'all. Let's get it together, because 2023 is about to be amazing for everybody, right? So thank you so much. I absolutely love you guys. Jasmine, still get your video together, girl. You still got it. And that is it. I will see you guys tomorrow in the morning, but I'm going to flood your stories because that's what I do. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Peace.